Hello, I'm Sean Grant with Plymouth Physical Therapy Specialist, here with Ari and Nicole, and we're going to take you through a progression designed for a warm-up for a baseball team. They'll show you a little bit with the spacing and the movements. Keep in mind there's variability within the warm-ups you do, including how many repetitions of each of these movements you want to do, or you can tweak a little bit of the movements as you see fit. Also keep in mind that everybody's going to be maybe on a little bit different pace depending on the age of the kids that you're working with and their level of experience or coordination. These are designed for baseball specific movements, although we're going to move right and left side. So not everybody swings both sides, but we're going to have movements in both sides similar to running. So these should encompass running, throwing, swinging, fielding, types of movements that we're going to do. So we'll take you through those now. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our arms, and we're going to get our arms and upper body moving. So we have arms overhead reaching backward, and we're going to do 3 reps. Now we're just going to take our arms down and reach back, trying to get nice and low and stretch out there. Great, and then we're going to take our arms overhead and we're going to reach to the right 3 times. And then we're going to go back to the left. Now using rotation, our arms are going to be out in front of us. We're going to rotate to the right 3 times. And then back to the left. Great. Now using our feet to do some movements, we're going to be stepping forward and back, side to side, and then rotating each way. So to start with our right foot going forward, lunging forward, and then lunging back. Great, now we're going to take that right foot and we're going to go to the right foot to the right and then crossing over to the left. Great, now that right foot is going to go into rotation, so we're going to rotate back into the right and then forward into the left. So we're pivoting around that stationary leg using our legs for the movement. And then we're going to repeat that same sequence going to the left now. So forward and back. And then we're going to go side to side. And then rotation. It is important sometimes to separate these from upper body and lower body when you're teaching it, although you may decide to do the combined, which is what we're going to do next. We're going to combine the arms with the legs. So when we step forward, our arms will go overhead. When we step backwards, we're going to scrape the ground with our hands, reaching back. So we're going to go forward and back, starting with the right. And when you reach down and back, you want to get nice and low. Great. And then we're going to go side to side. So we're going to start to the right, arms overhead, reaching to the opposite side. And then we're going to cross over. And then we're going to use rotation, so we're going to rotate back into the right with our arms, adding some extra momentum there. Good, and then we're going to repeat that same thing on the left side. So reaching forward overhead, and back down by the ground. We're going to go to the left, arms overhead, and then crossing over to the right. The arms are going opposite the leg. And then we're going to rotate back into the left and then forward to the right. Swiveling around that leg. Okay, now this next movement is more specific to our running. What we're going to do is we're going to do a walking forward lunge and then a walking backward lunge, and then we're going to go to the side for that one. So we're going to take alternating steps forward. This is where you may choose to go multiple steps, or in our case, we're going to do 2 or 3 steps here. So we're going to add some rotation to this as we go, and we're going to rotate to the outside of our lead leg. So we're going to start with our right leg lunging forward, and then we're going to rotate to the left. There we go. And then we're going to opposite there. And then we're going to go backwards, keeping that same rotation. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we are going to face the right here. And just like we are running the bases, we're going to take a side step to our left here. And we're going to rotate. And then we're going to go back the other way. It's like we're going back into the base. Great. Now we're going to go through some squats. And what I would suggest with these squats, there's variations. You can just have them squat, or you can have them squat and reach their hands to the ground as if they're fielding a ground ball, which is a little bit more functional. We're going to start with our feet wider than shoulder width. Toes are facing forward, and we're just going to squat 3 times. And again, you can have them reach to the ground as if they're fielding a ground ball. Now we're going to take our right foot forward. And again, we want our toes facing straight forward. And then we're gonna use our left foot forward. Same thing. Great, and then we're gonna come back to our starting position. We're gonna have our feet nice and wide again, but we're gonna turn our toes inward. And we're gonna do the same thing. 3 squats, reaching down to field that ground ball. And then right foot forward. And then left foot forward with our toes facing in. Great. We're going to come back. Now we're going to turn our toes out. And we're just changing the hip angle here. So we're going to go straight forward. Okay, right leg forward. And then we're going to go left leg forward. Okay, next is simulate a throwing motion. So what we're going to do is we're going to start first with our right leg forward and our left hand reaching up and back. And then we're going to come down and through like we're following through to the outside there. Great, and then we're going to switch feet. We're going to have our left leg forward, right arm back. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to balance. So we're going to first balance on our right leg, and we're going to reach back and come through. You may find that you need to keep your toe down on the ground for a little bit of stability, but the idea is to build some balance with this. And then we're going to switch and do the other side. So we're going to balance on our left, reaching with our right. Okay, another important piece of throwing is mobility in our upper back. And so this next movement or stretch is designed to give us some more mobility in that area. What you're going to do is you're going to stand next to a wall or a fence, and you're going to take your outside arm, reach over the top, so you're touching the fence of the wall. And then we're going to take that inside arm and we're going to reach forward and through and then all the way back. And we're going to give it a couple reps each way. And then we're going to switch sides and go the other way. Excellent. And that completes the sequence that you can use as a warm-up for a baseball game or practice. Again, this differs from your typical stretching, but these movements encompass all of the essential parts of throwing, fielding, hitting, and running. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.